Since this is my very first budget with me video, I thought I would do something special and pick up this Galaxy Brownie cookie. It's from a store called Crumbl, C-R-U-M-B-L. And I don't know if they have these across the country, but if they do have one in your neighborhood, I highly recommend them. They're not the least expensive cookies. They run around $4 or so where I live, but I decided to splurge out of my grocery budget and pick this up for today's video. And as soon as I'm done, I'm going to dig in because it looks absolutely delicious, but I'm trying to hold off for now so that I can get through the video. So let's go ahead and get started so I can get to my cookie. So like I mentioned, this is going to be my very first budget with me video, and I'm also going to be talking about some savings challenges that I recently found out about that I'm very excited to start, since saving has been a challenge for me. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. This is Cookies and Cash. My name is Barbara, and this channel is all about budgeting, saving, and paying down my $275,000 in loan debt, most of which is student loans. But I have a significant amount of consumer credit or consumer debt as well, which you'll see. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is going to be my budget for July 2023. And I actually am going to need to redo this sheet because there are a few categories on here that as I go through here, I'll explain actually either are bunched in with or sort of budgeted in with other categories, or they just don't belong on here at all. And then I have a few that I want to add. So, but let's get started. So I have rent. I live in an apartment complex. So I pay rent, which includes all of my sewage and my water and my trash. And I've budgeted $735 for that. So household supplies is one of those line items that I need to get rid of on this template, because I actually roll that into my groceries, which I know is kind of controversial for some people, but I've done it like that for a really long time. So that's why I want to go ahead and change this. So that is actually a 0. Renter's insurance is 0 because I pay for it once a year in a lump sum. Electricity, I have budgeted 70. I actually live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so and I need to check and see if I can get my electricity down even lower than this, because I don't have a lot of square footage in here. So perhaps I'm running lights a little bit too long or something that could get this down. This is a little bit higher than normal this month, probably because it's summer and I'm running the air conditioner. I'm trying not to run it that much because I don't want to run up the bill, but my apartment is also all electric. So I don't run on any gas. That means everything I cook, everything runs on electricity, which is probably part of the reason why it's, I think, a little expensive for such a small apartment. Cable is 0. I am a YouTube fanatic, and I also watch, Netflix and Peacock, which I get for really super low price, and stuff like that. So cable is out. It is way too expensive. So my cell phone, I have budgeted $130, and that is for 3 months of service. I go with a service called Mint Mobile, and the plan that I have right now is approximately $40 per month, and then with taxes and fees, everything, it turns out to be about $130 every 3 months. So you pay by 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, and I go by the 3-month plan. So a lot of months you'll see this is 0, but this is a month where it's due to renew. So groceries this month are going to be $115. This includes, like I said, household supplies. So I didn't need a ton of stuff, but I did need a few things, all of which I'm going to try to pick up from Aldi. Pet wellness plan. This is going to expire after this month. I used to have a cat, and my cat passed away earlier this year, but the way the plan is set up, it's a 12-month plan, and because certain services had already been used, I'm going to have to pay out the entire plan. So, but it finishes off this month, so that's going to be the last payment I have to make on that. Entertainment is 20. Donations are 10. Gas for my car is 200. Auto insurance is 192. Car payment, I'm actually going to cross out because that is rolled into another category here called other debt. So let's just put a 0 in that spot. Miscellaneous is 25. Yeah, 25. My credit cards, all combined, and I'm going to do a breakdown because this is also, one of the things that I'm working on is paying down debt. So I have a debt pay down sheet that I'm going to do a kind of a breakdown on, especially for people who didn't see my first video. The credit cards total, $471.98 for the month. And other debt, this is going to be my taxes. I have past due taxes that I pay. I'm in an installment agreement with the IRS, and so I pay on those every month. But it also includes things like my car payment is included in that as well as a couple of other small things. But some of them add up to a lot of money. It's at $787.87. Dining out is going to be 0. Savings is going to be 100. And you'll see there's another savings category that's coming up as well. But this is going to be my emergency fund. So I'm trying to go ahead and build up my baby emergency fund. So I'm at least going to try to get my $1,000 going. And right now I'm doing about $100 a month. Beauty is 85. My security system ring is 10. Microsoft 365 is 11, which I use here at home. I work from home, and so I have that is paid for by my company, but this is for my personal use. I do freelance writing work, and I design books for Amazon KDP. These are all, sort of my side hustles, which I'll talk about in other videos. But this is for my, my personal and business use here at home. Speaking of business, my business expenses are $53. These are subscriptions to a couple of different services that I use, and everything adds up to $53. And subscriptions and fees this month are $147. These are non-business related subscriptions, things like my Peacock. Amazon Prime used to be included in there, but I've dropped that. This is so high this month because I have one $100 subscription that I'm not renewing, and this is the last month I have to pay for it. Some of the other subscriptions on here as well are going to drop off within the next 2 to 3 months. So this is going to go down really low. Internet is 55. Okay, and then some of the categories that I need to add in here are car miscellaneous. This is like car tags, car wash, all that stuff. I actually don't have anything budgeted for that this month. Car tags are next month. Okay, so one of my challenges, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more too, is the 100 envelopes challenge, which I am both excited and terrified about. But it looks like so much fun. So, I'm in the beginning stages, which is good because, these are the lower dollar amounts, and as time goes on, I'll get into some of the higher dollar amounts when I think I'm in a little bit better situation financially. So this month, it should be $36. Okay, and another challenge that I saw was a $100 scratch-off challenge. Scratch-offs are new to me, so I thought this looked like so much fun. And such a great way to save. And so I'm only doing $100 so that, because I'm trying to do the 100 envelopes challenge, and then I have money that's going into my, my baby emergency fund. So I can't stretch myself too thin. This one is just to kind of get a quick win. So I'm going to do this probably over an 8-week period. So, kind of slowly, and it will be done right around my birthday. So this will just be used as like extra cash for me for my birthday. So it's a scratch off, and it hasn't arrived yet. So I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to be putting in, but I'm estimating or budgeting in 50. Clothes, that's 0. It's just me, and I have plenty of clothes. I don't have any little kids anymore or anything like that, so clothes are pretty easy. I have I think enough in my wardrobe for now for sure. Races, I do like to run races occasionally, but walk them. But that is 0 this month. I'm not paying for any races. I'm in one this month, but it's already been paid for. I paid for it months ago, so nothing that's coming up anytime soon that I have to pay for. And the last one is student loans, which for the time being is 0 because everything is still in forbearance and we don't have to make payments on our student loans right now. So I will start soon. This is going to restart in October. So there will be a number here soon, but for right now, I'm taking advantage of the $0. For those who don't know, people who've been here before and have seen my other videos know, but I'll state it again for maybe new people. I am in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which means I have to make 120 qualifying payments while I am still employed in a public service job, which I've spent my whole career basically in public service, working for nonprofits. And as long as I'm still employed during the time period that I'm making the payments and employed in a nonprofit or some other, like government organization, when I finish, it will take 120 payments to pay it off, and then everything else is discharged, or 120 payments, and then everything that's remaining is discharged. So there will, I'm sure, be plenty of conversations later about student loans because it's a big beast for me. So total for July is $4,507 and get my own notes, 85 cents. Okay, and let me scoot that up just in case you can't see it because I'm not sure how far my camera is cutting this off. But there's the total, and there are all the items that I have on my budget. So that is my July budget. At the end of this month, I'm gonna go back through and we'll see what I actually spend in all the different categories, what the differences are, make any notes to myself about things that I can change, do differently next time, changes in price, because some of these things might go up permanently or down permanently. So I'll note all that stuff in here. So that will be at the end of the month. And yeah, so this will be at the end of the month when I'm doing sort of my update for all of my budget stuff. But for right now, this is how the July budget is looking, $4,507.85. Okay, so now this is a sheet that I put together for my debt payoff. So this is also going to be for the month of July. And I'm sorry if my camera is shaking a little bit. I'm trying not to touch it, but it's a little tricky the way my setup is right now. Oh, eventually I think try to get that corrected, but for now this is kind of what works. I've got notes off to the side, so let me change those really quickly. Okay, so, all right. So these are all of my credit card bills and other bills. So you'll see they're kind of mixed in together. I'll probably change this sheet as well. But things like Money Lion, that's like a small loan, a couple $100 loan that I took out a while ago. As I mentioned in another video, all the credit cards that are listed here, like the Cap Ones and Aspire and all that stuff, those have all been cut up. I'm not closing them because it will trash my credit, and I've been working on building up my credit for a while, or rebuilding my credit for a long time. So I don't want to crash it and destroy it. So I have cut those up though, and I'm not using them. So the balances are not going up. So for the time being, they're only going to be going down as I make payments. But things like LASIK Plus, that was medical care financing, Care Credit, same thing. That was also for my LASIK. I mentioned taxes and car. And PRA, as I also mentioned in the very first video that I did, I have had a lot of made a lot of financial mistakes in the last couple of years, and this is from a number of years ago, but these are collections. So I've been paying on these for a number of years, and they were put on my account like back in 2017, but they stay on for 7 years, or until you pay them off. In this case, not with all collections, but with this company, they will remove them from your credit report as soon as you pay them off completely. And so everything else besides those few are going to be credit cards. So I have the most recent amounts. So let's see. Okay, so the very first one is $58.97. Indigo is 175.43. Trying to see. Let me move this over here actually. See if that helps. Money Lion is 259.12. Yeah, I guess I can make some jokes about my LASIK, right? Since I have a hard time seeing stuff, maybe it wasn't worth it. But I've been wearing glasses all my life, so it's fun not to have to wear them. Okay, Destiny is 250.54, and this actually also needs to be corrected because it is not eDestiny. Apple is 291.24. Cap 1, number 1, 365.25. Express, 392.59. And maybe I will speed this up and stop talking so it doesn't take so long. Okay, so as you can probably see, or maybe not, on my notes in the corner, the credit card total is 38, or the credit card in non-student loan debt, let's put it like that, the non-student loan debt is 38,432.16. If you include my student loans, it is 270.16. Now, for those who saw my first video, it was a little under 275,000. At the time, I forgot that I have two, and this sounds terrible, but it's true. I forgot that I have two other small loans that I took out that I now have had to bundle in here. So that actually brought my total up higher, almost $2,000 higher between the two of them. So there were a couple of payments made in June on these, so that the amounts are a little bit different. Should have been a little bit different from my first video, which was filmed in May of 2023. So just about a month and some change ago. So those are my totals. 2023, so I will remember. And I'm gonna go off camera for a second and do my minimums as well. And, well, no, I just won't talk, and I'll do my minimums. And then do the totals offline and come back on and give you that. Okay, so I finished adding up all of that, as I said, and I went ahead and put in all the minimums. So the total on the minimums before any snowball is $1199.58. It's confusing, so I'm gonna separate that. Now, snowball is approximately $60, so it is going to be 46.98 is what I'm planning to pay, which should pay this small debt off, and then an extra $13.29. Now this is a little more than $60 because I'm following a debt payoff app, and they're calculating kind of what you need to put towards, you know, your next debt, and so I'm just rolling with them. So this is actually $60.27. Okay. So here's what I owe. These are my total minimums, and then I'm adding $60 to the snowball. So at the end of the month, what I'll do is I'll come back and we'll see what I paid, and hopefully by then all the credit cards will have cycled. So I'll have new balances that include the interest as well. And so now on to the fun stuff, or what I consider to be the fun stuff now. As I mentioned, it should be in my title, and I also mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have decided to do the 100 envelopes challenge. And for those of you who don't know what that challenge is, you take 100 envelopes and number them 1 through 100, and the amount or the number that's written on the outside of each envelope is the amount of money that you need to put inside. At the end of the challenge, you'll have approximately a little over $5,000. Right now, I think I'm going to use that money for my larger emergency fund, but we'll see kind of where I am. The goal right now is just to finish the challenge, just to finish it, because it seems kind of daunting. I'm hoping to finish it in 52 weeks, so in 1 year. I think the original version was something crazy on TikTok, like, in 100 days, 100 envelopes in 100 days, and no, I don't have that. Otherwise, I would just go ahead and put all that money into my emergency fund or towards whatever debt I want to pay down, but no, don't have that. So I'm going with 100 envelopes and trying to save up all the money within 52 weeks. So let me get started. These are the, kind of off to the side here, I got my little plastic container that I bought, a little cheapo plastic container that I bought from the Dollar Tree. And there are some beautiful envelopes out there. And on Etsy, if you go to Etsy, and I looked at those, but they are a little bit out of the price range right now. So I am hoping that by the time this challenge is done, I would like to do it again. I say right now, I think it's like running a marathon. Like, you got to get through your first one, and then you'll see how you feel. But right now I'm thinking about doing this challenge a few different times. So maybe later I will splurge and buy some of the Etsy envelopes, because they really are cute. And they're all over YouTube, so you can take a look and see like how amazing they are. Like, they're all small sellers, of course, who've just done like an amazing job. So I understand why they're charging what they're charging, because it's a lot of work. But I have decided that I'm going to go ahead and just use regular envelopes. So I got these from the dollar store, from the Dollar Tree specifically. And you can see I have used a pretty pink Sharpie to write in the numbers on each one. And then I will use that. I think this one's actually, it's one either way, but the bottom, the back is a pre-sealed flap. So I want to make sure they're all facing in the right direction. So I use my pretty pink Sharpie to go ahead and number them 1 to 100. And I'm trying to go with 2 envelopes per week. So today I'm going to stuff envelopes number 1 and number 2, and I'm actually going to do number 3 as well, 3 and 4, since I won't be on camera to do these later. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stuff 1 through 4 right now, since it's also not that much money. So just to kind of get some momentum going, and also because I'm not sure when my next video is going to go up. I think it's going up next week. I'm going to try to aim for 1 a week. So we'll see. I got some traveling to do for work next week, so we'll see. So number 1, I'm going to put in $1. I can handle that for sure. And I think that's how it works, the same way debt works, by like death by 1,000 cuts. Saving, I'm sure, well, I should have put that envelope first, right? It's going to work the same way. Just like little by little, it builds up. And I have seen some unstuffings on YouTube, and they are pretty amazing. Let me put that option out to the side. So envelope number 2 gets $2. And I'm going to try to have all these facing in the same direction. So that's number 2. I did it right this time. Okay, 3 gets $3. 1, 2, 3. And then 4 is actually going to get $5 because I didn't get change, and I saw another YouTuber do this. They just round up, and I'm not rounding up quite as much as she's been rounding up, but I think in a situation like this, I'll round up $1. So my total will probably be a little bit off from the $5,050, which I believe is supposed to be the amount you saved if you do the challenge using exactly the numbers that are on the front. But I just decided to go ahead, instead of waiting, go ahead and put in the 5 and round up. So I'll try not to do that as I go along. All right. So those are my first 4 envelopes in the envelope challenge, 100 envelope challenge. Grab my little plastic container, stuff those in, put the lid on, and put it away. Now, I mentioned another challenge. It's a scratch-off challenge, and that hasn't come in the mail yet, but when it comes, I'll go ahead and do the scratch-off, because I love this concept of basically a lottery card, except instead of giving them your money, you're saving your own money. And they look like so much fun. Oh my God, the savings challenges look like so much fun. I can see how people get addicted to these, and it's really good because, especially for people who might have some difficulty just saving, normal savings, it makes it a little more fun. The same way me bringing on a cookie every time I do one of these videos is just trying to make this process a little more fun, a little more engaging, and help you stick with it a little bit. I think the same concept behind the amazing, amazing number of challenges that are out there works the same way. So you kind of get into a groove. I know that there are people on YouTube who are doing multiples. Right now I'm just gonna stick with these 2. And then I also have my emergency savings. And while I'm thinking about that, let me color in my emergency savings jar. Oh, and my envelopes, I need to color those in too. So 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my savings jar. This is for my baby emergency fund. I left off the baby, so I have to put it here. Baby. And I am going for $1,000. I know that's not a whole lot of money, but it'll do for now, just to get going. Okay, and I've already done my first deposit of $100. I'm trying to do 100 per paycheck, and if I didn't mention this, and I don't think I did earlier, I get paid once a month. So I have to make all of that money that's budgeted last for the whole month. And I also have some, side hustles and side jobs that I mentioned before that kind of help with that. But a once a month check, I've never had that before, so this is my first time, and it can be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so let's color in the bottom portion of the jar. Okay, so it's getting started. Oops, I'm wrong. I've got highlighter, double tip highlighter here, and just pulled off one by accident. Got it all over my hands. That's okay. All right, let's put that away. And the next one is going to be my envelope challenge. So since that's starting today, and today, as I'm filming this, is the 3rd of July. We'll start with that, and we did 1, 2, 3, 4 envelopes. So let's go ahead and start coloring those in too. All right. Okay, there are my first 4 envelopes, and that is it, I think, for this week. So, like I said, I'm going to try to post videos once a week, but I'm doing some traveling next week, so let's see where I am, and let's see what kind of content I have, because I don't want to post just junk content. So but see where I am and see what makes the most sense. And if there's something in particular that you guys would like to see, leave it down in the comments and let me know, because I am still pretty new on this journey and I am open to ideas for sure. So, all right, if you lasted this long, thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next one.